Good morning, Grand Rising. It is a great day for transformation. Thank you all for joining us this morning. I am Samion, leader and founder of One Transformation Center, where we celebrate humanity. It is our goal, it is our intention to inspire, motivate, and heal lives and relationships across the globe. As we believe that we have so much more in common than what differentiates us. We have more commonalities than we do disparities. So thank you for joining us. Those for the first time, we really appreciate you taking a moment, giving us an opportunity to support you along your journey. And those who are returning, we're grateful. We're grateful that you have made the decision to reconnect, to re-engage, that you find value in what we offer in our service. Take a minute to like the stream wherever you're listening to or viewing. Also go to all the social media networks and make sure that you're subscribed so that you can keep up with us and see the updates as they come through. We can find us at One Transformation Center on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. As well as on Twitter, we are at OTC, the One Transformation Center, OTC Atlanta, where you can go and tap in there on Twitter too if that's what your preferred medium is. So guys, I hope you're ready for a wonderful show today. Just to get the preliminaries out of the way, this is what we do. It's our order. We'll start with 3 breaths for life. 3 breaths for life, which we remind ourselves to breathe, which we so frequently forget. Do you know how much you forget to actually breathe? Your mind is not processing, oops, I gotta breathe. You're not consciously saying, I need to breathe. But we're gonna take 3 moments to allow ourselves to breathe and inhale that which supports us and release that which no longer does. Release those things that no longer support us. Then we move into the oath of manifestation, where we're going to begin to proclaim life, to speak life back into ourselves, to set ourselves up and have the tools and the resources that we need in order to go forth and be the value, to be the light, to be the extension and reflection of creation. Furthermore, we're moving to the affirmation, time for affirmational reading and prayer. We will go through the Course of Miracles, Lesson 101. That's being placed in the chat. For those, you can find it here. The Course of Miracles. This is where we take our reading from each and every day. Lesson 101. So if you ever wondered and want to follow back up and get your own understanding, please do so. Go to acim.org, Lesson 101. All right, with no further ado, I appreciate you for giving us about 20 more minutes of your time. Without any further ado, let's begin with our 3 breaths for life. Just get a moment where you are and begin to inhale through your nose. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. This time, hold it for 4 counts. Inhale through your nose, deeply. And exhale. All right, fantastic. Feel better? Feel alive? Feel the vibrancy that's entered into your body now with the fresh dose of oxygen, the fresh dose of oxytocin. All right, let's fuel it with some life. Let's fuel it by speaking life, speaking the unexpectancies, reconnecting and realigning with the unexpectancies. All right, so let's move on to the oath of manifestation. The oath of manifestation. I'm putting it on the screen so that you can read along. For those who have it already, you can go and secure it if you haven't already remembered it. For those who are looking for a copy of it, simply go to One Transformation Center on Facebook.com, and you will see a copy of it pinned. If not, just reach out to me and I'll provide you with a copy. This is just not good for the morning. This is also good for us to partner with, have an accountability partner, and share it with us throughout the day, just to remind ourselves of the opportunities that are available to us that we're not aware of, to invite them into our space, into our consciousness. All right? Let's begin to proclaim. Let's begin to proclaim. And we proclaim, I accept and receive unexpected good, unexpected money, unexpected love, unexpected kindness, unexpected generosity, unexpected prosperity, unexpected offers, unexpected prosperity, coming in unexpected ways from unexpected places in my life and in the life of others. I am constantly guided and boldly empowered to receive the lavish abundance of the universe. I accept the principle that abundance and prosperity have already been given to me. My acceptance makes it real and opens the space for manifestation to rush in. I open wide the doors of my consciousness to receive and to give. It is done now. Through this oath of manifestation, all things are possible. I declare absolutely that I live in a friendly universe that is always providing for me. I open wide the doors of my consciousness. I open wide the doors of my consciousness. It is powerfully happening now. I open to receive more abundance and to give more abundance than I have ever experienced before. I can afford anything I desire. In fact, I am so prosperous, I need never worry again. I am grateful for all that I already have, and grateful for all that I am ready to give. I keep myself lifted in high consciousness, no matter what the appearances are. God is all there is. I let the God times roll, and so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Just take a moment and allow yourself to feel these words. Enter into the very core of your being to resonate at a very deep and cellular level, to begin to change your DNA, to activate some things within you that have been dormant, thus allowing you to experience the fullness of this moment. Ah, yes. Now let's prepare. Let's prepare to receive the word of the day. Prepare to receive the word of the day. I'm placing it in the comments as we speak for those who want to go and review it. It is A Course in Miracles. It's A Course in Miracles, lesson 101. And it reminds us that God's will for me is perfect happiness. God's will for me is perfect happiness. And again, this can be found in the Course in Miracles at this address, acim.org, lesson 101. And it reads, God's will for me is perfect happiness. Today, we will continue with the theme of happiness. This is a key idea in understanding what salvation means. You still believe it asks for suffering as penance for your sins. This is not so. Yet you must think it so while you believe that sin is real and that God's Son can sin. If sin is real, then punishment is just and cannot be escaped. Salvation thus cannot be purchased, but through suffering. I'm going to reread that for you. If sin is real, then punishment is just and cannot be escaped. Salvation thus cannot be purchased, but through suffering. If sin is real, then happiness must be an illusion. For they cannot both be true. The sinful warrant only death and pain, and it is this they ask for. Repeat it. The sinful warrant only death and pain, and it is this they ask for. For they know it waits for them, and it will seek them out and find them somewhere, sometime, in some form that evens the account they owe to God. They would escape him in their fear, and yet he will pursue, and they cannot escape. If sin is real, salvation must be pain. Pain is the cost of sin, and suffering can never be escaped if sin is real. Salvation must be feared, for it will kill, but slowly, taking everything away before it grants the welcome boon of death to victims who are little more than bones before salvation is appeased. Its wrath is boundless, merciless, but wholly just. Who would seek out such savage punishment? Who would not flee salvation and attempt in every way he can to drown the voice which offers it to him? Why would he try to listen and accept this offering? If sin is real, its offering is death, and meted out in cruel form to match the vicious wishes in which sin is born. If sin is real, salvation has become your bitter enemy, the curse of God upon you who have crucified his Son. You need the practice periods today. The exercises teach sin is not real, and all that you believe must come from sin will never happen, for it has no cause. Accept atonement with an open mind. which cherishes no lingering belief that you have made a devil of God's Son. There is no sin. We practice with this thought as often as we can today because it is the basis for today's idea. God's will for me, God's will for you is perfect happiness because there is no sin. And suffering is causeless. Joy is just, and pain is but the sign you have misunderstood yourself. Fear not the will of God, but turn to it in confidence that it will set you free from all consequences sin has wrought in feverish imagination. I'll repeat that. Fear not the will of God, but turn to it in confidence that it will set you free from all the consequences sin has wrought in feverish imagination. Say, God's will for me is perfect happiness. There is no sin. It has no consequence. Let's say it again. God's will for me is perfect happiness. There is no sin. It has no consequence. So, should you start your practice periods and then attempt again to find the joy these thoughts will introduce into your mind, give these 5 minutes gladly. 5 minutes at the top of every hour. Give these 5 minutes gladly to remove the heavy load you lay upon yourself with the insane belief that sin is real. For effect, I'm going to read that again. Give these 5 minutes today gladly. 5 minutes at the top of every hour. To remove the heavy load you lay upon yourself with the insane belief that sin is real. Today, escape from madness. You are set on freedom's road, and now today's idea brings wings to speed you on and hope to go still faster to the waiting goal of peace. There is no sin. Remember this today and tell yourself, God's will for me is perfect peace. God's will for me is perfect happiness. This is the truth because there is no sin. Let's take a moment and sit with these ideas. In the space of quietness, a space of stillness, in the space of remembrance of whose we are and who we are. For we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We are merely an extension and reflection of the Master Creator, of that which says, I have created thine in my own image. So let's take a moment and soften your gaze. Close your eyes and hear the sound of my voice while these words permeate throughout your being. God's will for me is perfect happiness. I say it again. God's will for me is perfect happiness. God's will for me is perfect happiness. There is no sin. It has no consequence. Let's take the load off today. Can you imagine living your life without having to worry about looking over your shoulder? Can you imagine being able to make decisions without having to worry about consequences? Can you imagine the freedom that it gives you to be the best and highest version of yourself, the freedom that it gives you to make mistakes, knowing that mistakes are the very things that help you to grow and evolve? Can you imagine? Can you imagine the relinquishing, the letting go of the idea of you hurting someone because you made a choice that ultimately you felt was in your best and highest good? Can you imagine not having to carry that around? Can you imagine just relinquishing the guilt, the shame, the insults, the need to defend yourself? Can you imagine having a life where none of that exists? That's what the Divine Spirit is offering you today. Allow yourself to receive it. Allow yourself to see you as perfect, whole, and complete, because you are. You are not this human. You are not this body. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, not a human being trying to determine or ascertain your identity, your spiritual identity. Who you are is consistent. However, we create cloudiness and the need to change it because we have forgotten who we are and whose we are. No more for that today. Today, we shall remember that God's will for me is perfect happiness. And that this is true because there is no sin. If you're going to be transparent, the idea and the ideology of sin really exists when you're not being authentically who you are. When you're not standing in accordance with who God created you to be, that soul contract that you made with Him. Simply because you've bought into ideologies and philosophies, or you moved into the space of adaptation of sign language, shame, insult, guilt, the need to be right. tell you what, you can be right or you can be righteous. Which one's more important to you? You can be right or you can be righteous. Which is more important to you? You have to make a decision today. And we hope that your decision begins with this idea of God's will for you being perfect happiness. We hope that that your decision continues with the idea that God's will for you is perfect happiness, that there is no sin, that there is no sin. It has no consequence. It has no bearing on how God sees you. Has no bearing on how you can be used. Do you not understand that the things that you've allowed to encumber you, the things that you've allowed to trap you, to limit you, are the very things that are preventing your light from shining so other people may see the divine in you? You're preventing the opportunity for people to know God through you, simply because you're refusing to live out of concern of sin, out of concern of mistakes that you may make, which may be in violation of someone's rules, of someone's ideas, of someone's philosophy. We have to ask ourselves, are those someones more important, more influential than the God of your being? So stand with me this morning, stand with me this day, in alignment with God's perfect will, which is for your perfect happiness. And in that happiness and in God's will, there is no room for sin. There's no room for it. So we must let it go as well and have no room for it either. Live. Even in your space right now, you may not be where you desire to be, but I promise you, God is in this too. Where you are currently is allowing you to be able to be seen by someone else who desires to be in that space. And you are the caveat, you are the conduit to shift them to be in a better place than where they are currently. Allow yourself to be where you are. With that being said, let's move into a space of gratitude. Greetings, Pastor. Greetings to you and everyone in Pakistan. Divine Creator, that which we are created in the image and reflection of, our guardian angels, and everyone and everything that works together for our best and highest good, we say thank you. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for the privilege to be an extension and reflection of you, and to the ability to tap into everything that works together for us, everything that is here to support us, the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. Thank you for your love being unconditional and complete. Thank you for the reminder of this message this morning that grants us with freedom unlike anything we've known before. That grants us with peace that surpasses all understanding. That allows and permits our happiness to be something that is limitless. We give thanks for this. And we affirm that we will take this message with us today and allow it to penetrate deeply into our very being. And we will spend the time today to remove anything that is unlike you. Any idea, any philosophy that is tampering with our happiness, that is creating some type of bondage and limitation upon us, we release it. And we allow ourselves to be in accordance with your will. We allow ourselves to be in accordance with your goodness. To be in accordance with the truth of who we are in you. We give thanks. We give thanks as we ask for your will to be done on earth as it is in heaven, granting us the ability to stand and be the ambassadors that you have called us to be in this moment and forevermore. And so it is. And so it is. It is so. Amen. Amen. Ashe. Asheo. All right, good people, that commences our session for today. Well, that concludes our session for the day. Thank you for joining us. If you've missed any part of this session, feel free to go back. It is recorded. It's on YouTube. Simply go back and listen to it right now, if you like. So go back and catch up on what you missed. Simply go to YouTube and type in One Transformation Center. While you're there, go ahead and like and subscribe. Click the notification bell. Click the notification bell. We thank you for being with us again, for trusting us with your transformation. Also, you'll find on that space, on the YouTube space, you'll find other programs like Transform My Life, which comes on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then you also find the Transformative Conversations, which happen every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific. Tap in, join us. Go to our social media spaces at One Transformation Center on Facebook, Instagram, and OTC Atlanta on Twitter. As always, if you like to support, feel free to go to Giveify, Giveify. Go to Giveify and just query One Transformation Center. Or you can also go to the Cash App at $ Samuel Crumby Jr. We greatly appreciate anything that you're able to provide us, anything that you're inspired to contribute. As it goes back into this broadcast, it goes back into this ministry, it goes back into the Transformation Center, helping us to be able to provide greater resources and greater content for you. We love to do what we do. We love to support you in your journey and desire to continue to do so. So with your support, we can. So in closing, thank you for investing in your transformation, for continuing to invest in your transformation. We hope that you continue to join us daily, weekdays at 6 a.m. and on weekends at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as always, be the change you desire to see. Until next time,